Pray. Now, I'm not going to get all theological on you about that and talking about, oh, get up, get almighty, great God, thy kingdom comes, sits on the circle of the earth. No, forget that for a second. Here's a 4-letter word for praying. Let's just be real. Help. Okay? Now, some of you, just saying that would probably be a good beginning for your prayer life, okay? Some of you are, maybe more mature. But let me just tell you, God, help me today. Help me with my business. Help me be a better family person. Because if you're sitting in a boat in the middle of the lake drowning, you're not going to get up there and start saying the Lord's Prayer. It's real quick. Help! And I just tell you, hey, use that 4-letter word. It's changed our life. Now, work. Write this down. Wealthiest man that ever lived. Proverbs 14:23. Proverbs 14:23. King Solomon wrote, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. Profit, you have to have a business. We're in a business. We're thankful for that. Okay? But he did not say all work brings a profit. He said all hard work. So I believe there's really 3 categories. There's hard work, and then there's mere talk. Your choice is what category are you in? Talking, we know where that leads to, poverty. Working, or hard work. And fast. Now, you can just go fast, but that's not my point. I'm literally talking about, and I've never heard anyone really sharing this, and I haven't really shared it in the marketplace, but I'm talking about fasting, abstaining from food. We know that there is obviously spiritual benefits from that. There are off-the-wall, incredible health benefits to fasting. But let me just share my testimony. The first time I ever fasted, 20 years old in Southern California, right after that, God did an amazing thing and reconciled me with my earthly father. And then right after I went on an extended fast for the first time, literally within 2 weeks, God called me full-time to this business, made $5,000 that month, $7,000 the next month. That came right after a fast. I went through a horrible year in 99, went through a divorce after a 3-day fast. Lisa, God told me, I'm bringing you another person. I met Lisa, and He brought us together. Right at that same year, I went on an extended fast. Right after that, the Hughes brothers came into my organization. This year, we started the year with a fast. It's been an incredible year. Incredible year in blessing, but it's been an incredible year with adversity also. And let me just tell you, I believe that adversity is nothing more than hell's attempt to abort the next season of blessing in your life. Also, we've been attacked, our name, and I'll just tell you this, false accusation, I believe, is the last stage before supernatural promotion. And I like what Dr. Billy Graham says. When you're attacked and assaulted, don't defend yourself, he says, because your friends don't need it and your enemies won't believe it. And then I'll just talk about enemies for a second. I believe that we need enemies, just like Lisa said, opposition. Because with enemies, here comes reward. Without the purpose of battle is reward. King David, we would have never known his name if he didn't have an enemy called Goliath. In this very room, Evander Holyfield, if Mike Tyson, his enemy, didn't bite off his ear, his reward wouldn't have been $22 million. We need enemies, ladies and gentlemen. And the last part is rest. Rest, we take 6 days. I think it's a great model that God Himself gave. He works 6 days and He rests 1 day. We take 1 day to celebrate life. No prepaid legal. We just need a break. And it's been a tremendous blessing. We make that a family day, and I would encourage you to give, to pray, to work, to fast, for some of you, and then and rest, celebrate life. And I just want to wrap up with the most embarrassing moment that ever happened to me. I moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to get the city of Albuquerque as an account. And I'd been there for a year, struggling, working at Olive Garden and working at UPS, trying to do my prepaid legal full time. And then it was just horrible. And after a year, I finally got an appointment with the chief of police. And he said, Kyle, you can come and present. You can have the account. You're going to talk to 80 officers on on this Friday morning at 6 and 2 and 10. And I go there, and here's the chief of police behind me, and all these commanders in front of me, or right behind me. Right here is just packed room. All these motorcycle cops are here. They're like this with their big old buff arm sticking out their boots. I won't even barely let me move. And here in the back, I have what was equivalent to the group vice president at the time watching my presentation. And then I have the senior partner of the law firm. His name was on the law. It was literally on the firm, and he was there because his personal client was the chief of police. And my wife at the time told me that she wanted a divorce the night before. And so here I'm doing my first presentation. It took a year to get to this point. I moved to this city for this account, and then I wasn't in the best emotional state. And then all of a sudden, I teach laughter leads to listening. And I'm doing the presentation, and all of a sudden, everyone starts laughing. That's usually good. But as a presenter, it's usually nice if you know why they're laughing. Okay. I thought I said, in case you're in a blue and red lights are flashing, and your siren is glaring, and you're in a high-speed pursuit. What I said, in case your siren is blaring and your red and blue lights are flashing, when you're in a high-speed lawsuit. So all these cops start laughing. I see the law firm, the head attorney just looks, shaking his head, and now I get nervous. And I'm even more nervous. And then this is what happened. And here's these cops right here. And I'll never forget this. It's the most embarrassing moment in my prepaid legal career. I'm holding the brochure, and my hand starts doing this. And I didn't even know it until I looked down and saw the cop right there, and his hand's going like this, you know. And so I had to put that down. And I got out of there, and I finished the presentation barely. I jumped out to the side. The chief was so nice, said, "Good job, Kyle." He recommended it. So actually, some people actually signed up. I'm going down the hall, and I see this light, the window's coming out. It's dark, early in the morning. All of a sudden, I see the lawyer come out, and the senior attorney's coming right toward me. And he walks up to me, and he says, "Kyle, that's the worst presentation I've ever seen. You embarrassed me and my firm," and walks away. I go to the car and cry, and then I find out that he goes back to his office and writes a 1.5-page letter to the corporate office describing my presentation with adjectives that were not positive and words that only a 20-year experienced litigator could use. So serious that it was brought up in a management meeting at the corporate office. And I'm like, I just got to get away. My dream is done. And so I go to Denny's. And I'm sitting there, and I go there, and I could afford a Grand Slam, so I'm sitting there, and then and I'm looking at the menu, and then all of a sudden I look up, and oh my gosh, here come 5 of the cops, and they put them right in the booth next to me that were just in my presentation. That's exactly what I did. The lady comes. I'll have a Grand Slam. So okay, take the menu. No, I like to read it. So I was devastated, and this is what turned out to be. I quit, and this is the whole point of this story. Last wisdom key: never make permanent decisions because of temporary feelings. Never make permanent decisions because of temporary feelings. Because if I were truly blessed, I didn't get the amount that I needed that day. I had to go out there the following week and get 20 more memberships. And it turned out to be a blessing because I would have quit, but I couldn't leave like 45 cops because I had to get 65, thinking they had prepaid legal, and all mad at me even more. And so I had to go and open the account. It turned out to be a blessing. But I wanted to quit so bad. I was a wreck. But let me tell you, if I would have quit, made a permanent decision based on those emotional feelings that day, I would have missed out on the permanent blessing of having this incredible woman as my wife. We met because of the marketplace, the blessings of having my children in private Christian school, the fact that we have our beautiful 6,700 square foot home, that we had so many people, that families have come and live with us, that in times of need, single parent families, the blessing of we're being able to work with my mom in business, the blessing of helping a pastor start his church in our home. We are just so thankful, and I just want to encourage you, stay in the game. We all go through temporary disappointments, rejections, just like me. It's hard for you to top, though. I think mine's probably the worst presentation in the history of prepaid legal. But just remember, expect increase and believe that the God of increase wants to bless you even more than you want the blessing yourself. Thank you.